I want to thank you all for being patient with your highness here. It's called midterm season and it's deadly. It kills hundreds of students each year. It may not be physical, but I can assure you, it's mental. Today, on this episode of VitaminG, we are making butternut squash, roasted butternut squash soup. It is such an easy recipe. In fact, it's one of my favorite recipes to date, and I don't really like soup, but I like this one. So there are 3 components, like spices, like additions, coconut milk, and butternut squash. Let's start with butternut squash, shall we? What we're gonna do to this butternut squash is we're gonna cut it open, and I'm kind of still thinking, like, should I like cube it up or should I just put it in halves? To make this recipe easier, I'm just gonna half it, season it, and then stick it into the oven. Right now, I have my oven preheated to 425. And while my oven is preheating, I put my pan that I'm gonna put this on in with it so that it can heat up too. And that way we get this really nice roasted taste right at the beginning of cooking our butternut. Butternut, you better not mess with me. Okay, I'm gonna cut this baby open and I'll show you how to season it once we're there. But I'm gonna just turn this off first because I don't wanna make a fool of myself while I cut it. Hi, hello, it's me. What I'm gonna do with these seeds is I'm going to dry them and roast them. So what I'll do is I'll oh my gosh, is it still recording? Because it's telling me 20% battery. Okay, you are. All right. I'm going to take these seeds. I'm actually going to roast them. And first what I'll do is I'll take it out. I'll rinse it and then dry them and then roast them in my oven while my squash is baking. So instead of me having to buy a fresh vegetable or a fresh squash every single time, I actually like to go into my frozen aisle. This is how I actually developed the recipe. I went into the frozen aisle and I got cubes of butternut squash. They already come pre-cut, and that is amazing because when you come to bake them and roast them, they'll bake and roast evenly, which is amazing. You don't have to worry about cutting properly or making sure that everything is, you know. So, oh my gosh, my towel fits my sweater today, but it's disgusting. All right, very simply, we're gonna go in with salt, pepper, olive oil, and some seasoning. So I'm just gonna touch this puppy up. Don't be shy with the olive oil or whatever oil you're using today. Rub that puppy in, get it all around. Don't be afraid. We're gonna salt. Get a lot of salt on there because remember, you're not just cooking the surface, you're cooking underneath, and that needs to be penetrated as well. Pepper. I have dried rosemary with me. I'm just gonna put that on my butternut squash. I have my parchment paper that I'm about to put my butternut squash on. What I'm gonna do so that my parchment paper doesn't like roll around everywhere is I'm gonna wet it. Water, don't be afraid. And I'm gonna crumple it. What that does is it'll keep its shape in the pan while I roast, which I really like. This is a trick I like to use with cookies. Any baked's good, as long as it's good with moisture content. So let me just get my pan. All right, remember your pan is hot, so be cautious. I'm gonna delicately place my parchment onto my pan. I'm going to quickly put it this way down. I'm gonna put it skin side up, flesh side, like blood side, like the meat on the inside. Can you even see? Ah! That was hot. Okay. So I almost died. Okay, this has been in the oven for 15 minutes. I'm just gonna turn it over and then continue to roast it. Right now, it looks like this. Literally doesn't look any different, but it's a lot softer. I'm just gonna put it in the oven again. All right, friends, it's time for the second part of this soup, and we're gonna start at the stove. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on my stove to medium heat, and I'm simply gonna add olive oil to my pan. And what we're gonna do is just like we did for the coconut recipe on my channel, you can go check that out. We're gonna do the same thing by cooking our spices and our herbs first. So I'm just gonna let my olive oil heat up just a lit. See what all right, I'm going to add my ground ginger or my minced ginger, I mean, to my pan or into my, I don't know what this is called. I don't know terms and definitions. And also my garlic into my pot. We're gonna let these cook, and once they're aromatic and we smell their beautiful fumes, then we will continue to the next step. I'm just gonna take out my butternut squash to show you. It's completely finished and it looks so good, and the pan is very, very hot. Essentially, it is soft enough that my whole knife goes into the thickest part. You can't see a thing. My knife goes into the thickest part of the squash, and very easily. And also we've got this beautiful caramelization on the top of our squash. Now I'm going to add my rosemary, and I'm also going to add some thyme, dried thyme, to this base. All right, now we're gonna take our butternut squash while it's a little bit warm. It's hot. We're just gonna do this, and what I'm doing is simply taking it out of the skin so that I can put it right into my base. And if you had frozen, you wouldn't even need to do this. You would just pop your squash right into the pot right away. All right, now that we've got our squash all in there, what I'm going to do is simply mix it with the spices and add a couple of cups of coconut water. If you don't have coconut water, that's totally okay. Just add water or broth. You can add beef broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth. It's completely up to you. Cater it to your own needs. We're gonna let this come to a boil. It's kind of like a slush, like a mush, like it looks like baby food. But once we add that coconut milk, it's gonna be really nice and silky, and we're gonna hit it with like an immersion blender. I forgot what those were called. Excuse me. And that's it. At the end, we'll add some lemon. All right, our mixture is coming to a boil. Now I'm just gonna add my coconut milk. I have 400 milliliters. I'm gonna add almost all of it. I'm gonna leave just some for garnish. Or you know what? Well, or yogurt. And can you just take in how easy that was? The oven did the work for you, so chill. You can add some grated sweet potato in here as well, or carrots. But don't be afraid of like full fat meals. Full fat just means that you're doing something good for prevention of chronic disease, to get your energy up, and so that you're thinking properly, so that you have energy. I think when people hear full fat, they get really afraid. So there's nothing to be scared of. We have fat in our bodies. That's how we function. And your body will break it down. Okay. Can we take in? Butternut squash has 212% of vitamin A per like 100 grams. Don't quote me on that, but it's like for a small amount, but take that in. And it also has B12, it has vitamin E and vitamin C. So if you are feeling a little bit groggy during the fall, we all get sick during the fall months. Vitamin C it up, babes. You make this soup and keep it with you. Meal prep for the week so that you have it. And then you can microwave it every day with your lunch, with your salad, with your chicken, with whatever you want. Have it your way. We've hit it with a smooth simmer. We're gonna blend this till it's silky smooth. That's it. Looking glossy and beautiful. Let's plate it, shall we? I'm gonna hit it with some lime juice. Yep. There we go. Oh, that smell with the coconut milk really brings it home, let me tell you. This is perfect with some garlic bread. Y'all getting this? Write that down. Yogurt. So I kind of burned my seeds a little bit, but we're not mad. I gotta show you guys from pulse the back of the spoon, like amazing. Whoa. Hot. Oh, but oh, so comforting. You get the ginger, the garlic, that coconut milk though, changed my life. Make this today, like immediately. Leave now, go get the stuff and make it. This was your dose of vitamin G, and I'll see you later. This week, I am eating. Yo, pop some croutons on here.